The following podcast contains adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
I don't know which one I'm plugged into.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
You're in 3.
That's what I thought. I was going to plug it into 3 and just go, but, you know.
I actually missed plugging something in.
Cable's on the right. I'm just saying that to be a problem. I'm a problem.
Are you?
How do you solve a problem like that phantom? The Joycast, brought to you by Meth.
Welcome to Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast, the only podcast to combine the subjects of gaming, tech, media, and puppets for no easily explainable reason. It is February 27th, 2026. You are the internet. I am Kevin Blades. My pronouns are he, him, and this is episode 4 of season 4 of Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast. Joining me as my co-host, his pronouns are he, him. It's Andrew, a.k.a. Bat Phantom.
The United States of America will never allow a radical left woke company to dictate how our great military fights and wins wars.
That's right.
That decision belongs to your commander-in-chief and the tremendous leaders I appoint to run our military.
That's right.
The left-wing nut jobs at Anthropic have made a disastrous mistake trying to strong-arm...
notorious left-wing nut jobs at Anthropic.
Trying to strong-arm the Department of War and force them to obey their terms of service instead of our Constitution. Their selfishness is putting American lives at risk, our troops in danger, and our national security in jeopardy.
Maybe not using AI in your military shit is the opposite of putting troops at risk.
Well, I mean, it goes on a little bit. I do want to finish this. Therefore, I am directing every federal agency in the United States government to immediately cease all use of Anthropic's technology. We don't need it, we don't want it, and will not do business with them again. There will be a 6-month phase-out period for agencies like the Department of War who are using Anthropic's products at various levels. Anthropic better get their act together and be helpful during this phase-out period, or I will use the full power of the presidency to make them comply, with major civil and criminal consequences to follow. We will decide the fate of our country, not some out-of-control, radical left AI company run by people who have no idea what the real world is about. Thank you for attention to this matter. Make it very great. This was an hour ago. 3 hours ago.
Wow.
The radical left Anthropic. Because why? Because they tried to say...
Oh, no, I know why.
They tried to have some level of ethics involved in AI, and they're like, no. You can't have ethics in an AI system that the U.S. government is using, you psychopaths.
One of the things I keep trying to point out, not to anyone's advantage, of course, but the thing about all of these like right-wing alpha types is that they are all alpha types.
Oh, God, yes.
And therefore, ultimately, they will always eat each other, right? They will always fight each other. It's like there's a bunch of guys at the bar, and there's that guy who's got to fight everybody, right? And because he's got to be the winner, right? And ultimately, and he may have buddies, but ultimately, when everybody else is gone, he's going to fight his buddies because they're the only ones left, and he's still there, right? So it's self-defeating because
it just never fucking stops. So but this could be it. This could be
it's only Anthropic.
It's only Anthropic. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, okay. But I'm saying like OpenAI is still there. Microsoft is still there.
But it's still a wake up call, like everything else that fuckface does, where he just reflexively makes a giant statement we're not gonna use this product anymore. Anthropic's fucking numbers go into the toilet because the government's not going to use Anthropic.
No, absolutely. And this is my point though, is the fact that now OpenAI and Microsoft see that if they don't absolutely fall into line with everything that he wants, this is the consequence.
Just
right?
it's amazing. And and again, we're watching it all in real time. Meanwhile, William Gibson never had the famous 7-Eleven egg salad sandwich in Japan, but Canadian 7-Elevens now offer it for $1.75 in a more accurate looking repro than the US version. Deliciously cloud-like. God bless you, William Gibson. God bless you. We love you. We need you. He also said something else today. What did he post? Wheezy toasting self above the 90-year-old steam radiator. I'm about to turn the boiler down for the night. When this blissfully warm surface eventually cools, he'll join me upstairs for a snuggle. God bless William Gibson. I will mention, I don't think I'm not going to put in the show notes, but Dan Simmons passed away, the writer of Hyperion, which is one of the great sci-fi works. It's an absolutely incredible story. I don't know if the series really holds up, but holy shit, was it amazing. Did you read it?
I did not.
Oh my God. It's so fucking good. And I guess he was a bit of an issue in later years because he's an old white man. But he passed away. He had a stroke.
I'm an old white man too. What's my excuse?
Yeah, you're just woke. That's your problem.
I guess that's
You're woke.
that's it. I'm far too woke.
Holy fuck.
So
how's it going, Kev?
Oh boy. I don't know, man. You tell me, because apparently something's going. I'm just looking at the show notes now. I'm just going with the fucking current at this point. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, Paramount is the devil.
Well, I put that in there because it's in the intro, because we're not doing movie shit generally. But okay, let me just quickly go over this. So
it's the deal. The Netflix thing fell through.
Yes. Here's the deal. Paramount was purchased years ago by Skydance, which is owned by the Ellison family, who are the fucking worst. And so when Warner Brothers eventually burned out their current corporate ownership, they were like, hey, we're up for sale. Who fucking wants to spend billions of dollars on the Warner name? And so everybody said, fuck yeah, let's make some money. Let's spend more money than God on Warner Brothers. So Netflix, who has money to burn, said, yeah, let's do it. But Paramount really wanted Netflix, really wanted Warner Brothers, and not for the Warner Brothers legendary archive of incredible legendary films and their movies. No. What they want is CNN, so that they can de-wokeify it and turn it into another fucking right-wing bullshit platform.
Right.
And that was it. That was all they really wanted. They were willing to spend $100 billion. Who the fuck knows? I'm not going to get in the numbers. They were willing to spend whatever it took to get that.
Stupid numbers.
And yeah, Netflix was like, no, we're going to do right by it. We don't even really care about. This is the insane thing, is they were willing to spin off the fucking TV side of things with CNN and all that other shit, because they just wanted the Warner Brothers catalog and the IP that goes with it to make movies. And Paramount was like, no, fuck you. We're spending $40 billion on this. We're gonna make this deal so fucking powerful. And even Fuckface got involved and said, oh, we're gonna make sure that this goes properly, because we don't want those woke liberals at Netflix to control the Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So. And I guess whatever massive check Paramount decided to write made Warner Brothers go, all right. And even Netflix went, fuck it, whatever, man. You want to pay $40 billion? Go, God bless, have fun. So that's effectively a done deal, except that it is still subject to regulation, which of course Trump will happily give them.
Say what regulation?
But the state of California is saying no. We are going to take this to the fucking courts because this is wrong. So if they do nothing and it just eventually just Paramount just controls it, then that means the Ellison family now controls
everything.
Everything, exactly. I mean,
all mass media.
They've already destroyed CBS News. Barry Weiss has destroyed CBS News. Of the legendary bastion of fucking quality journalism is annihilated, and now they want to do it to CNN. Not exactly the bastion, but whatever. It's still CNN. So yeah, that's all they really wanted to do, and it's comical. I mean, they've already publicly stated how Larry's had meetings with Trump about how the people that are going to get fired as soon as he takes over, And it's just incredible. I don't understand how somebody else hasn't just said, as you know what, do whatever you want. I'm going to hire every person that gets fired, and I'm going to create a legitimate news platform that hopefully people will go to and say, yes, that's where I want to get my actual news from, instead of the bullshit news.
That's kind of happening. That's what for media and things
Sure.
like that. Like that's
and this is it though. It's mostly independent sites.
But that's what it is. That's the answer.
But
Right?
but it requires the population to recognize what's going on as well and
Yes.
realize that everything that they're currently watching is corrupted. I mean, Foxes were right off decades ago.
But I got news for you, pal.
Mm.
It always has been.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is not new. None of this is new. It's just
Smart people are keeping their eyes open.
it's just at scale that's different. That's,
And I mean, once it's very clear what's happening, I would like to think that the population, the ratings will just go in the toilet, like everything else that fuckface touches.
well, and this is exactly the process, right? It's destroy.
Right.
Right. That's
And just hope that whatever comes up from the ashes doesn't completely annihilate all of your shitty
what
news.
will come up from the ashes is extremely mediocre.
Well-
It'll be Gavin Newsom,
Right,
that comes up from the ashes, right?
We need better billionaires that are willing to front.
or no billionaires would be the other
Obviously,
option.
that would be great. And this is the thing. What's happening now? Like you said, 404, Aftermath, shout out Aftermath. I love Aftermath. These sites that are trying to bring in people like Defector, great sites that are hiring great journalists that are and enough people are buying subscriptions to these sites that they can actually do their job and get the information out there. But by and large, it's just being entered into the left-wing ecosphere.
But this is my point, and I think what you're reaching for is basically centrism, right? You're hoping that the mainstream shifts to the left, basically.
Right. Wow.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like that's a pipe dream. It's not a thing. What is going to happen, and the logical end result of this is the mainstream is the mainstream and always has been and always will be. But what this is doing is it's fueling a healthy and active and angry underground.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
And that's the best result we could possibly hope for.
And that's what happened with Minnesota. When ICE got into Minnesota, the people stood up and said, "Fuck this." But unfortunately, those same people right now are suffering because the media accepted the fact that Trump said, no, we're moving on, except that's not what happened. ICE is still there doing horrible shit, and the people that were getting funding from the other people, the regular people in the world, they don't realize that it's still happening, so they're still trying to propagate that.
It's the dichotomy of culture and counterculture, always, right? But again, this is not a new phenomenon. We've seen this dynamic play out a lot. It's just happening at scale and at speed faster than we've ever seen it before. So
right. I mean, this is why we need things like a coping mechanism.
Hey, this is actually a perfect segue because this is exactly my coping mechanism for this week, which was introduce the actual segment. Coping mechanism is the bit where we talk about what has either distracted, inspired, or in otherwise sparked joy, I guess would be the phrase, in our lives in the past 2 weeks. And for me, it has been a video that this was another algorithmic recommendation, which I feel weird.
Sometimes it works.
Sometimes by accident it works.
People that like the things you like also like this.
It turns out,
I mean,
that part of it could actually work in my favor sometimes.
Why can't it just work like that? Fuck, it's so frustrating. We're so close.
Because then you can't sell people shit. That's why. Anyway.
God damn it.
A historian that I hadn't known about before this, Nicole Rudolph, has her own channel. She specializes in it's actually kind of hard to describe what she specializes in, but it's class structure in and around before and after the Industrial Revolution. Cool. So it's a really almost abstract thing to talk about, but it is a very important thing. And then the changes that have happened since then, largely as they are reflected in things like fashion and decor and design and artistic structures, but also economic structures and how those things reflect off each other. She's amazing at sort of drawing these parallels, right? It's the old, hemlines go up when the economy is good and down when the economy is bad.
Wow.
That kind of thing. Or hair length as well as a correlation, right? When the economy is good, hair length goes down. When the economy is bad, hair length goes up because conservatism, etc. It's that kind of thing, but it's obviously far more academic and well researched than that. But she got to ask this question, and it was her answer was brilliant, and it was something that I had not even remotely considered before. So the question that was asked is: everybody's making parallels between our time and, of course, the rise of Nazi Germany. Because we it's clear, the obvious rise of fascism, like the parallels are glaringly obvious. We've got ice in the streets, we had the Gestapo, like it is exactly the same thing. But it feels different this time. Why? What's the difference between now and then?
The internet.
Kind of, yeah. But that's not really it. That is what is giving us the kind of momentum and speed and scale, but that's not the thing that's different. And this is something, because I don't really think in terms of class structures, and that's not sort of been my area of historic study. So she was able to phrase this and contextualize in a way that I had just like, this blew my mind to think about this. But what is different this time is in every societal collapse until now, the crisis has always happened at one of two extremes. It's always either been the peasants or the serfs or the lower class, or it's been the nobles, right? Or the royalty or whatever has been the people on top or the people on the bottom are the ones that have had the crisis, that have fallen apart. This time, what we've had, and this has only been the case since the New Deal, since like post Great Depression, right? What the Great Depression did was it created a healthy middle class. That's not something we've ever had before in history. And as I think we could probably attest to, what's been happening over the past few decades is this gradual whittling down of the middle class, right?
Full annihilation. Right?
And to the point now that that's the thing that's in crisis. That's the thing that's in danger of going away. The lower classes, the working classes, are always in crisis.
Yeah.
That is the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
And so we've got this polarization that's happening now where suddenly the middle class is the thing that is threatened. The centrism is what we're talking like it's that thing, right? It's the thing in the middle. So that's why this feels new, is what her argument is. And I think that's brilliant. I didn't even consider that from that angle. It's like, oh, right. And her further point, and this is where it gets optimistic is the wrong word, but gets hopeful, in that she says, like, basically, if we accept that history goes in cycles and the history is repeating, that's what makes us feel helpless, because the end result is already written. Right? We know what's going to happen. It feels different this time because a new thing is happening. And if a new thing is happening, it means that the end result is not written. Therefore, every single one of us has agency in this moment. We can affect the change that comes out of this because we're in a brand new thing that hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
And that to me is like one of the most realistic, hopeful messages that I've heard in quite a while.
Guillotines.
Sorry. I mean, but again, that's the French Revolution. What was in crisis was the nobility, right? That's a very good example of.
Oh, they're not in crisis; they're creating it. But still,
this is the thing, though, right? We've got this polarization happen. Well, after the polarization is done and the middle class is gone, and the middle class is now the lower class, and everybody but the billionaires is thriving, or everybody but the billionaires is in crisis, that is.
Yeah.
What do you think happens then?
Guillotines.
Right, exactly. That's the next step. So, like, shit coming, but we have a degree of agency that we've never had before. And that is a very hopeful thing.
Billionaires need a come to Jesus moment,
And my favorite point that she made was like, and again, she doesn't have, and she makes the point that she doesn't have the answers because nobody knows because
Right.
it's new. But she says one of the most effective tools against sort of the social perception and the social dynamic of how this all goes down is, and when she said this, I fell in love with her immediately. She was just like, be weird. Like, they don't know how to cope with that. This is why the frog costumes at the protests worked.
Yeah,
because
threw
they
them off.
can't fucking cope. It's not, she makes the point that like violence is what they're trying to create.
Yes.
Right. Because they know how to respond to that because
Right.
they use violence. It's not to say that if you are in a situation where it's called for, don't use it. Of course, make your own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing they don't know, the thing they can't cope with is fucking weird, right? There's no response to that. This is almost to like Mel Brooks's point that the best thing you can do with a Nazi is turn them into a joke.
Yeah.
That's the thing they hate the most.
Oh, God,
right?
yes.
That is the thing. Anybody who doesn't take them seriously, that's the thing.
I mean, not to make a Marvel reference, but you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, the climax of the film when Ronan's about to destroy Xandar, what does Star-Lord do? Dance off.
Dance off, exactly.
Like what? And it works. It just throws them off so hard that they get the move that they need to do.
The best weapon we have right now is your fucking weirdness.
Yeah,
That
James
is
Gunn
it.
knew, man. He's given us the tools we need.
It's so good, and it brightened my whole week. So
That's
there
good.
there we go. I've got a
look into
link
that.
to that. She's also got like everything else she does is brilliant. I won't even go on it, but if you're at all interested in this kind of thing, and particularly as a response to like decor and fashion,
Yeah.
she's got a lot of stuff to say about that, and it's really fascinating.
And
like color theory, like just
Everybody needs to embrace history for these reasons. You know, you got to see what's happened before to recognize the patterns.
you need the context.
Yeah.
It's so helpful. It's not. It doesn't create despair. It creates hope.
I was talking earlier about being incurious, and this is a big issue right now with young people is they don't have interest in the history because you know they think everything that's happening now is so chaotic. How could it possibly be reflected in the past? Guess what, bitch? It's there.
Yeah.
People like this are trying to explain it to you in entertaining YouTube videos. Anyway,
So there we go. And what's yours, Andrew?
Mitski.
Mitski. What is
So-
Mitski? There's no link in Mitski. You
No,
gotta
I didn't put a
you gotta-
link.
You got to link to Mitski.
I mean, music.
Oh,
It's when you discover an artist that has been around for a little while, and they've got a bunch of albums. It's exciting when you find somebody that you hear and you go, oh, that's interesting. So it was The Guardian actually that had a reference. It was an interview I think with her for her new album that just dropped today. And I'm like, oh, this person seems interesting. And I played the video. I'm like, oh, this is insane. But it's also challenging in that it's not normal. And so I listened to her previous album, and it's fucking amazing. And the thing that got me, I mean, this she has an absolutely incredible voice. I've been trying to lock down who she reminds me of. And the first answer is always Nico Case because Nico is all very literal writer,
Sure.
brilliant lyricist, and also has a lovely voice. But I really feel a connection with the McGarrigle sisters, the legendary Canadian folk singers. She sounds very similar to that. It's very country infused folk, more
Sure.
country style, but she's got an amazing voice, but her material it's jarring when it needs to be. Like she'll completely switch gears in the middle of a song and to throw you off. And what really struck me was that this is something AI could never do. The level of humanity she projects in her material, like the lived experience and what she's saying and how how she can, like I said, she can change the direction so quickly and wake and slap you like it's like you've been hit in the face, and then it just goes back to the sweetness, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And a lot of her material is like that. The new album is a little more subtle, which is nice, but but again, you realize, oh my god, this person's got 5 or 6 albums. This is great, and you're like, where the fuck have you been? How am I just hearing about this? You know, she makes me think about all the greats like Liz Phair, because you know, again, great songwriter and a little vulgar when necessary. You know, she's just real, and I'm just like, I'm always disappointed when I discover these artists after the fact, because I always like to think of myself as being I'm ahead of the curve. I'm on the pulse. I hear these things. These artists get mentioned, and I should know about them. So yeah, and she was on fucking Colbert this week. You know, I watched her performance, and it was nice. I was hoping it would be one of the weirder songs, but again,
you probably don't do that on Colbert.
Well, you know, it's still just incredible, and she's got a lovely voice. It's just Mitski, Mitski, just phenomenal. Totally worth checking out. Like I said, she's got a new album. I'm assuming she's touring. She probably played here last week, because that's always what happens. I find out about these artists the week after they play Toronto. Mm-hmm. But just a ethereal, beautiful voice, and lyrics that actually make you focus, because it's not. It's smart. It's lyrical. It's poetic. It actually has some substance to it. She's not just, you know. I mean, we're in a world where most people are listening to slop on one level or another, and it's getting worse because they're being fed AI slop now, and more people are okay with it. But it also tends to be in genres that reward slop. They reward compliance with the normal vibe, that are unchallenging materials. And this comes back to the thing I keep coming around to is how people are incurious, and her music makes you actually pay attention. You're like, wait, what? Hang on. And then you're actually listening to what she's saying. And it's not just verse, chorus, verse. It's you know, and it's not just A-B rhymes. And she's telling these stories, and you remember, oh, right, this music can have heart and passion and craft, and it awakens that feeling in you. And it's just, I needed this so fucking bad right now to hear an artist that was this alive, and I highly recommend checking her out if you're so inclined. And it comes down to how we learn about new music. You know, the fact that I read this article in The Guardian. The Guardian is a very progressive paper. I say paper, but it's a site. But, you know, it's a left-leaning site. Yeah. I pay $69 a year for my subscription to their site. They're based out of the UK, but they're a global existence. And again, they cover a lot of different the global genres, you know, like it's not just UK stuff. I mean, they are definitely focused on UK stuff, but it's great to be exposed to these other artists that you may never have checked out before. And it's harder to find platforms that you're going to discover new material on, and we're less likely, because again, we're slaves to the algorithm, and sometimes in some sites the algorithm's good. I gotta be honest, Apple Music is pretty fucking good about suggesting good material that fits.
I will say that yes, asterisk.
Yeah. No, I'm not. It's not unqualified.
Because I have discovered a number of artists in that way. And in fact, one of the things that was a very productive thing to do last summer was I would go on walks, because I discovered a whole bunch of new music last year, and I would just find like the similar artists to the things that I was listening to on Apple Music, and I would just cycle through those and find the things that I liked. So that was very helpful. That's how I discovered like Nova Twins, for example, was one of those finds. So yeah, but I have also found where the edges are of that. Right? Sure. There are definitely limits. And again, this also depends on your tastes, right? Because
absolutely,
I have some fairly extreme tastes. So it's going to hit the edges quicker for me than it is for somebody with less.
I mean, I'm
taste.
definitely much more central than you are in that respect, but My love of Mylène Farmer. I don't know if I've talked about Mylène before. Mylène is
don't think so.
fucking incredible. French pop singer. She's been at it for 30 years now. She's still producing incredible music. But one of her albums finished, and it started playing other similar material, and I discovered an artist called Clara Luciani, and I fucking got obsessed with her for an album that came out in 2018, Sainte Victoire, and it's fucking great. But I'm talking about Mitski today, not Clara.
It's a podcast.
But I have
We're
a
going on
type.
tangents.
But holy shit! Again, don't please branch out and seek out new material, and it's because it's more important than ever to be supporting real artists and live music and new artists to remind everybody that there is good in the world in the art world, because we've been letting the AI bullshit dominate the conversation so much that we tend to forget about the real artists out there. And there's real filmmakers too. We can't get into that in another time, but for the most part, I like Mitski. Seek her out, punch it into your. Just also, side note, just fucking cancel Spotify. Don't fucking give Spotify money.
No.
I hate that they're still the standard. I was a Spotify member for years, and I just can't fucking deal with them anymore.
Yeah.
And they celebrate slop because it makes them money when the slop gets into people's playlists. So and they don't pay anybody shit. At least Apple pays way more than Spotify to artists. So
It's
please,
still pennies, but
it's not as much as it should be. And there are some
There is a
services that are
reason why
better.
all of your artists want to sell you merch, because that's where the money comes
Just
in.
fucking cancel your Spotify account today. Just fucking shut it down. Go to Apple, go to Tidal, go to something legitimate. But when you get there, punch in Mitski and listen to some of her stuff and go, okay, yeah, no, I get that. Okay, cool. So, yeah.
All right, there we go. Well, there's the intro.
We'll see you next time, folks.
There's a podcast. All right, we're gonna take a quick. I think I may need an actual break.
Sure.
Because I need to refresh my beverage, and we will be back with the Puppet Pit. You have entered an alternate dimension. A dimension of fleece and fur, of foam and industrial adhesives. So I hope you have good ventilation. A signpost up ahead. Watch your step. You have just stumbled into the Puppet Pit. Is that a very morbid thought?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, welcome to 2026, everybody. But hopefully get to an age where my voice really changes. But I'll have all of this recording of me doing other voices and things because you can tell, Julie Capper's is probably the most clear example of this. But as you age, your voice changes, right? Sure. So there's gonna be a point at which my Frankie isn't going to sound the same as original Frankie. Anymore, right?
Absolutely.
That's gonna happen, and it's just gonna be weird to have all these recordings around.
You know what you could do is you could take all the recordings of the Oracle and put them into an AI, and it can
probably
regenerate. You could just perform it, and it'll just change it to make it sound like classic Frankie.
It's already got to the point where it's like I look at the old Operation Puppet videos before I lost all the weight.
That's fair.
And it's like looking at a different person. It's complete disassociation. I'm like, okay, that's okay. Anyway, that's weird.
No, it's
very strange.
It's an interesting thing to just think about spontaneously.
Yes,
but that's what we do in this podcast.
It's psychologically jarring. And speaking of psychologically jarring, puppets.
Hey,
we did it. Okay, this is the part where we talk about the puppet side of Operation Puppet for the last 2 weeks. I forgot to do the actual intro to the Puppet Pit, but hey, how you doing? I build puppets for a living. That's the thing. That's why the podcast is called what it is. And I'm going to talk about that. Then we will stop talking about that because that's what the rest of the podcast isn't. So, what am I even doing? Recent builds. Let's go on with that. So there have been 2 builds in the past 2 weeks, which is not a great track record, but it's good enough. It's fine. It's a minimum. It's my absolute minimum. But the first was a commission, And I had a client come to me from, I think it was Etsy that they originally got in touch with me. And like last month, I think, or the month before, I don't even remember.
What is time?
What is time exactly? I had put up a couple of Greeblies that I did, and one of them was blue, and they really liked the blue Greebly, but their spouse loves Grover. And so the question was put to me, what if a Greebly but Grover?
Groverly.
And so I went, I can do something with that. So, and they were great because they were the absolute model perfect ideal client that I love to work with, because they were like, here's an idea, go with it.
Yes.
Right. And I'm just like, I love you.
I trust you, puppet maker.
Exactly.
Make me a puppet.
And so I kind of thought about it, and I was like, okay, how about this? Blah, blah, blah. And I labeled off a few bullet points, and they were like, great, awesome, let's try it.
Sounds great.
Right. And so I made it, they loved it, they bought it, and it was fantastic. And so, yes, the Grover-inspired Greebly went out this last week, actually.
You ever notice that Grover sounds kind of like Miss Piggy?
You know, funny thing that, and very much like Yoda, surprisingly enough.
A little bit of Yoda.
A little bit of Yoda. Yeah, so that was last week. And then this week, I had a potential commission lined up that didn't end up going through. So I was at a point where I'm like, well, for the first time in a very long time, I didn't have a commission.
Oh, shit.
I'm done. So it's like, I can just make whatever I want for the first time in like a couple of months. And so that's what I did. I just looked around and I saw what materials do I have and what design. And I'm also prototyping a thing. So I kind of worked this into the prototyping process, but I knew this wasn't going to be the finished thing of the prototype that I'm working on. So I knew that ahead of time. So I was like, okay, what do I have? What am I working on? And I ended up making this like pink monster, and I just finished it today.
It is on his Blue Sky.
The pictures are up on the socials, and it's not gone up on the shop yet, but it will. But I'm really happy with it, and
it's very cool. It's a very cool look.
Really good. I mean, commissions are commissions, and that's fine. That's great. And please, yes, if you want something, by all means, get in touch. That's where the bread and butter is. But I really like just making stuff.
I mean, as a creator, that's it, right? It's you don't have somebody in your ear. It's just you and your vision.
And I kind of
it's exercise as much as anything. But
I find I need that every now, and that's kind of why I think people come to me, right? Because like they see the things that I.
That's
make
the reason
the
jazz guys are in the club at 3 a.m. when there's 2 people in there. That's when they really want to fuck around and do some. That's when they start inventing shit. Sometimes it's just noodling about, but sometimes you come up with a new classic. You don't know, but it's important to stretch your legs, and that's great.
So that was what was this week. And there's also a legally distinct celebrity amphibian in the works, FYI.
Hey,
so next week on the shop there should be both the pink monster and an unclaimed, legally distinct celebrity amphibian.
It could be yours.
It could, in fact, be yours. So there we go.
$1 million.
And I am, in fact, done with all my commissions. So, should you wish anything, this would be an excellent time to get in touch.
On multiple levels.
Very multiple
You will go
levels.
to the front of the queue.
Exactly. So related sort of to that is the build streams, which I usually say have continued. Well, for the past 2 weeks, they have not continued. Last week it was because I was working on this commission, and I was at a stage where it was just, I didn't really have anything to show that would have been stream worthy. It was just me sitting around sewing. So I don't really like to stream when I've just got that to do. Yeah. And I also hadn't got consent from the client. I'm sure they would have given it if I'd asked, but I hadn't asked by the time.
You have to have some mystery.
This is my constant joke to everybody. It's like lawyers, doctors, and puppet builders. All three of us understand client confidentiality, right? That's super important. So I didn't stream last week because of that, but I did have a tutorial video already shot and in the hopper. And we talked about this before. I like having that when I know I'm not going to stream. So at least hashtag content will go up. So there is that is now available on the YouTube and for the cool kids, PeerTube server. which is a tutorial about a subject that is very intimidating to a lot of new builders, and including myself. It's a very rudimentary introduction to the process of draping, which is tricky. It's very difficult, and I am still only beginning to kind of wrap my head around it. And I've been doing this for 6 years, let's remember. So don't feel bad if you're not.
I mean, obviously, I know nothing about this,
Yes.
but I'm guessing draping is one of those things that you can see on shitty puppets.
So no.
Okay.
Draping is the process of taking a shape, putting fabric around that shape, and then having the fabric conform.
Right,
to
but
that
I'm saying,
shape.
but I'm saying that shitty puppets often just have whoever created them probably has never even attempted proper drape.
Possibly, but there's two reasons why you drape. Right, one is if you're making a pattern, and it's a way of creating a flat pattern from a three-dimensional shape. And the other is if you're not making a pattern and you're just taking an object and covering it with fabric. So that's where that could possibly come in.
Sure.
Is if they haven't done that particularly well. And it is a very, very tricky thing to do. But like I always say, the best way to learn is to just do it and make the mistakes. And that's exactly what I did. But I have a process that I use that for at least very simple shapes. If you're talking about more complex shapes, don't come to me because I haven't done really complex shapes. You would basically need to do it in a bunch of different stages, and you wouldn't be able to do it all in one go.
Right. If anything, that's the lesson.
Yeah, exactly. But for a simple shape, yes. And for example, for my legally distinct celebrity amphibian body, the sort of semi-spherical body of that particular character.
Like an egg.
Very much. It is an egg shape. I don't have a pattern for that. I never have a pattern for that. I only do draping on that because it just looks better.
Oh, yeah.
If you try to do a flat pattern from a shape that has a gentle curve, you will often, because what you need to do is need to add darts into the fabric. And that's very tricky to get right at a smooth curve. Whereas draping, that's what draping is. You're just trimming the fabric away to the surface of the object and then sewing it up.
It is an excellent skill, I'm sure, to elevate your puppet making.
It absolutely is. So that's what I showed on the tutorial video that has now gone up and is available to you all.
I would imagine that's an element that really brings you to that next level. Like when you realize, as a puppet maker, as a casual puppet maker, once you start looking into something like draping, you realize, oh shit, I'm a puppet maker now.
Exactly. With the fact that the first time I made a Kermit, I'll say the word, whatever. It's a podcast. Nobody listens to this. Certainly not lawyers. The AIs of lawyers probably do listen to this by now. But the first time I made a Kermit, and I realized, like, I tried a couple of experiments with doing the body, and there are a couple of patterns floating around on the internet that you can find. None of them are very good. And I just went, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try draping. And it came out beautiful. And I'm like, oh, this is how they do that. That's how this is accomplished. It really was a great feeling, right? Because it's like, oh wait, not only did I do this, I know how to do this now, and I can reproduce it. So it's a huge leap in your skills. And the other part is, I mean, I remember BJ Geyer teaching in his courses that, like, one of the things that they will do on set, for example, if you're working under a very tight time constraint and you need to create just cover a thing in fabric, right? Whatever that is, maybe you've got the puppet got damaged or something, and you need to just cover it quickly. Yeah. But you want to be able to reproduce that. Is they'll take the fabric, they'll cover the puppet, they'll do the draping, but they'll do it inside out. And then they'll trim it all off, they'll sew it all up, and then they'll take it off and they'll turn it right side out and then wrap it around.
Sure, that makes
sense.
sense.
So it's almost like a way of quickly making a flat pattern. It's neat. I haven't done that yet, but I want to try because it's really an interesting thought. Because draping is the way that you end up with a flat pattern, right? And I'm sure, like, goes beyond puppet building. This is like any kind of, like, Pepakura is an example of flat patterning, which is like paper crafting.
I did not know that.
Okay, well now you do. So in prop making, that's what Pepakura is, the process of making a 3D object out of flat paper.
What a fun word.
I mean, it's a good word. It's Japanese. So
Oh, hell yeah.
so that's a very useful skill to have. So I've done what I could to sort of introduce people to the basics of draping, and it really is just the basics, but it will get you started, and you'll figure it out. So there is that. And then this week I was gonna stream, but then so I promise I would explain. I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail, but like I do have a medical condition that is much more fun to say than it is to have. And to the best of my knowledge and the best of my research, I have not been able to find. I do not believe that it actually has a Latin-derived medical name, but there is an idiomatic common name, and it is floppy eyelid syndrome. Have you ever heard of floppy eyelid syndrome?
I mean, that sounds like a puppet thing.
It does, I mean, seriously, the puppet guy got floppy eyelid syndrome. How perfect is that? So yeah, it is a semi-rare condition.
Jesus.
And it's not well researched, so there isn't a whole lot of like, we don't really know why.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have suffered it and never bothered going to the doctor.
There's enough people that it's like, it's a known thing, but it's not, the research hasn't been done. There's no money in it, basically, is what it comes down to. So, but yeah, basically what the practical upshot of it is that the surface of my eye can get easily abraded. It can easily get like small abrasions in it, particularly when I sleep. I have to go through lengths when I sleep to make this not happen. If I don't do that, and sometimes I don't because I just forget, I can get small abrasions on the surface of my eye, and that means that your eye freaks the fuck out.
As it should.
And turns out that your eyes are really important, and your brain knows this. And so when any little tiny thing happens to your eyes, it just goes full on red alert.
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah, absolutely.
So what happens to me is it's a form of conjunctivitis,
Okay.
which is pink eye, basically. But it's not bacterial. I can't pass it to anybody. It's not communicative. It is just my eyes freak the fuck out, and they go red. They go burning, and I become extremely, and I mean extremely photophobic. So I literally can't look at my phone. I can't look at this. Any kind of light it's not even pain. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I completely.
Your brain says, get that the fuck out.
The goth guy
shut it off.
basically has a fucking a symptom of vampirism.
Yeah.
Right? Like bright light, forget it. I'm a fucking mogwai. Exactly. That's it. So that unfortunately flared up this week. Now I have medication that can mitigate it. When I start to feel it, I can take this medication. So that's what I did. But it takes a few days to calm the fuck down, and so I can see straight again.
Jesus. Kevin,
So that's
man.
That's
Come on.
what happened to me this week. So that's why I was in the middle of it when the stream day hit, and I was like, I can't today. So yeah. Anyway, it's almost gone now. I can almost see right now. So that's good. Anyway, floppy eyelid syndrome. Look it up. Basically, what it means is that, like, I don't have enough elasticity in my eyelids. So when I'm sleeping, if like a blanket or a pillow brushes against it, my eyes can literally open.
Or a cat hair.
And like stuff can get in there and then abrade the surface. It's not serious. It's not like it doesn't cause serious damage, but it causes enough damage that the eye thinks it's highly damaged.
Your brain just goes into panic mode.
And unfortunately, like the only real solution is surgery.
Fuck.
Which would be okay. I mean, it wouldn't be okay, but it would be okay, except for it's not considered life-threatening. Therefore, it's considered cosmetic surgery.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I would have to pay for it myself, and I can't afford that shit. So no, there's no choice.
But your eyes would look amazing if you got it.
Betcha, yeah. This is the reason why I use the eyeliner sparingly, because anyway. So that's what happened this week. That's why there was no Bill stream this week. Surprise!
That's a good reason.
It is a good reason. It took forever to figure out what the fuck this was, too. I had to eventually go to an ophthalmologist who literally took one look at me and goes, "Oh, floppy eyelid syndrome."
Ah, you're one of those.
I went through allergy tests. I went through like the full fucking regimen. I went through doctors and doctors and doctors. And eventually I got to the one guy who went, oh yeah, this.
God damn, it's so insane when that moment hits. You get that one doctor, you get the Dr. House that goes, oh yeah, floppy eye syndrome. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, does anybody else know about this? Because all of your colleagues should have fucking heard about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but this is the thing; it's rare enough that they shouldn't have. Like, they need my optometrist definitely wouldn't have known about this, but my ophthalmologist, who I had to get a referral to, did. So anyway, that was a long way of saying that's why the build stream didn't happen.
Hey, you know what? If any of our listeners goes, hang on a minute, that sounds like my problem, and they go to the doctor and get it fixed.
If you keep getting pink eye and you think you keep getting pink eye, you may not be getting pink eye. You may have floppy eyelid syndrome.
Get it checked out.
Here's the weird thing. If we're going to go, we're going to go. Okay. So I'm an even stranger case for this because almost always in every case that's been studied, in like 97% of cases that have been studied on floppy eyelid syndrome so far, it is a cohort with sleep apnea.
Okay.
I don't have sleep apnea. I absolutely do not. That we know that for a fact, and that makes me even rarer.
Nice.
I am the fucking weird one in every situation.
It'd be funny if it turns out that most puppet makers have it.
You wouldn't be surprised. But that's literally one of the things is the fact that I've got so much like fibrous material floating around me, right? Anyway. So yeah, there we go. What are we doing? Oh my God. Puppets, huh? Yep. That's the puppet pit. We're done.
That's a good one.
So yeah, the puppet guy's got floppy eyelid syndrome. Okay.
The takeaway is, if you've ever wanted a puppet, now's a great time.
That was a good time. This coming week, because I don't have anything on commission, I'm once again going to be deciding what I make, and that's okay with me. So in all likelihood, unless there are extenuating circumstances, I will probably be able to get back to the build streams this week. That is what that is the conclusion we will come to. So, as always, all of the links on operationpuppet.com, etc., etc. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with Pixel Town.
The sky above the port was the color of a YouTube video locked behind 17 unskippable ads. Around the rainy streets, people dodged out-of-control robo-taxis and shot down delivery drones carrying $50 burgers. Here we fight the corporate ecologies and get excited about avoiding our phones. Welcome to the mean streets of Pixel Town.
Before we get into it, side element of the Paramount thing that I forgot to get into. So these are pixels.
Welcome to Pixel Town, where we talk about gaming tech and all things thereunto related. Okay, go.
So one of the things that's been happening with Paramount is that they're trying to revive people's careers who have been canceled.
Oh, no.
So this is
okay, yeah.
So a couple of months ago,
I know what this is.
Well, Brett Ratner is getting to make Rush Hour 4 because fuckface loved the Rush Hour movies, and because despite the fact that he was canceled because of a history of
Jackie Chan and
Chris Tucker. They're fine. They're not affected by the shittiness.
Are they on
it's all
board,
Brett Ratner.
though?
Probably they'll write them massive fucking checks to do it, because why not? Because this way they can make shitty content. Anyway, this is the kind of thing that the Ellisons are doing, is they're trying to, and this is, again, it's all right wing bullshit. Just like, oh, these people were canceled for no legitimate reason. Sure, they did some terrible things to women, and but they apologized for it. They should be their careers should be.
It's only
restarted.
women.
So this it was announced that Paramount is doing. It's a little confusing right now, but basically it sounds like they've greenlit, or they're moving forward with two G.I. Joe projects, because of course it's G.I. Joe. It's IP that they control. Yep. So they've hired Danny McBride, who I fucking love. Danny McBride's one of my favorite people. Righteous Gemstones. bound it down. His writing material recently has been the Halloween films and unfortunately the Exorcist reboot, which did not go well. Anyway, so he's doing his own thing, which is great. He's going to do some kind of a pitch for G.I. Joe, which I'm sure will be fantastic and very genre bending and not a very straightforward one. The other pitch will be created by Max Landis. Max Landis is a noted piece of shit, but he's one of those pieces of shit that's never been charged with anything. So he's just basically a notorious person that nobody should ever.
Everybody knows.
Everybody in fucking Hollywood knows that he is not a person you want to be alone in a room with. Like he was elevated as a nerd lord, I guess, for a while. He created Chronicle, which was a big success. He was going to be, he should have been one of the architects of the Marvel DC bullshit as that was rising, but at the same time, all the stories came out about him being a giant piece of shit, and then he was basically radioactive. So now,
it was during the Me Too stuff, right?
Very much, he was one of the big Me Too guys because again, nothing actionable, nothing that he could go to jail for, but he should not be given an elevated position in Hollywood. His father's also despised John Landis for the infamous Twilight Zone incident and never truly was punished for it. Anyway. So Max was given the opportunity to do the other pitch, and this is the kind of shit that they're doing: is they're letting these canceled people get a restart. I'm sure Kevin Spacey will probably play Duke in his version or something. It's just going to bring them all
Mel
out.
Gibson. Right?
So this is what the Ellisons are going to do with the Paramount world now. I am concerned about what they're going to do to Trek. Because that's what they own Trek. Fuck knows who they're going to get involved in Trek now. They might let it just be its own thing.
The non-woke Trek.
That's
definitely what Trek is. That's
so, I mean, if they let creators do their own thing, there could be some benign elements that come out of this. But that's the way these things always are. There are always like they always either leave stuff alone or don't understand stuff enough that it gets to be a good thing. Yeah. It's just that it's by accident. Right. And of course their main focus is going to be, is it woke?
Yeah.
So, if you dare to be different, then they're probably going to throw it away. And who knows? So
hey, if you're woke, come to the underground. That's all we got.
Right.
To say.
So just be aware that anything that gets greenlit by Paramount, Skydance, and or fucking Warner Brothers now. They're not going to be able to officially do anything with Warner Brothers for probably a year, given that there will be regulatory requirements. There are going to have to be some things that happen, but
a lot can happen in a year.
In the meantime, if you hear about any Paramount projects, please look at it carefully and look at who's actually involved before you get excited about it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out there.
All right. So, Deck Nook. We're going to actually start with the Deck Nook.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a good one because the Steam Deck this past week, I guess, celebrated its 4-year anniversary.
You mean 40?
4.
It feels like it's been 40 years.
04. That's the number of 4s is 1.
It was released in 2022, which is insane.
Which was a bit of a weird year.
If you had asked me when did the Steam Deck come out, my answer would have been 2016.
Yep.
Straight up.
Yep. So this is the thing. It's like it feels like yesterday, but it also feels like forever, right?
Yep.
That's one of the things.
It absolutely feels like it's been around for a decade.
What a weird thing, but yeah, I still use mine, and you can't get one anymore.
No, actually, it has shown back up.
What?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it's just the States or just in Canada, but it was as of yesterday or today. People said that it was available for purchase, so it is showing up. It is possible to see it if you keep checking your Steam page.
That's a surprise.
You might still be able to buy one before the price goes through the fucking roof.
There's more powerful handhelds out there. The interesting thing, and I didn't put this in the show notes, but the interesting thing that came out was like that the Xbox branded or in like all of the basically nothing has put a dent in the Steam Deck in terms of sales.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck is still by far the most popular one. So That's really awesome.
I didn't put it in the show notes, but we should probably mention that Valve is finally in the crosshairs because the New York State has decided to move forward with litigation against Valve over loot boxes.
Yeah.
This is something that felt like it was settled years ago, but they're actually finally moving forward with charges. So and it sucks that Valve is in the crosshairs for it, given all the other companies that are involved.
It's kind of pick a company kind of thing, right? Like,
and Valve needs to be held accountable for it.
Yeah,
I mean, what they did with
yeah.
CS:GO and that ecosystem that they helped create, it shouldn't exist. And I'm not saying that's any reason why they're a successful company, but they've definitely made a lot of money off of off of a very shitty system.
Particularly coming from the Linux world like I do, it's like, well, Valve's done a lot of good. There's no question, but they're not far from perfect, and this is one of the ways in which they are not.
Yep, and Gabe's gonna have to spend some lawyer money, and Lord knows he's got it. So I hope that it goes reasonably, and that in the end they acknowledge that it's a shitty thing that they should never have done.
I hope that this is the first step towards going after people like Roblox. Right?
Fuck yes! Oh my god,
that's the real target.
Yeah.
This is hopefully just an opening salvo to that battle, but we will see. Okay, next.
So
Pisser, huh?
Pisser, yeah, PSSR. So
this
Sony
is kind of old news. I don't know.
is. Well, it's new in that.
Okay, newish, but
So
PSSR has been around for.
Sony has released their newest version of their PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. It's 2.0 that is now available. It released officially with Resident Evil Requiem.
Okay.
And it will be part of a very near future update in the system. So they're very excited about it. Digital Foundry dug into what they did with Requiem, and they're very interested in what's happening with this.
Yeah.
And all of these systems are going to be necessary in a world where RAM is very hard to get.
No more hardware. Yeah.
But it is also interesting that this does specifically apply to the PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
This is not something that will be on the older hardware, at least at this point.
Nope.
So this is another incentive to go with the Pro. If you are getting a new system.
I will say, of all of the, because I have no consoles anymore. I got rid of them.
Oh, you
all.
got rid of it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you got rid of the PS5.
A long time ago. I mean, honestly, it was a financial decision. I needed the money, literally, to pay rent. But of all of the consoles, that's the one that I was like, I should probably hang on to this. Now, that was, of course, before now, where it looks like, according to the most recent projections, we're not getting a new console generation until 2029. Like 28, 29.
Yeah, I think 28, but yeah. I mean, and realistically,
depending on bubble bursting, right? Like that.
We don't need new hardware. We have plateaued in so many ways. There's nothing that another generation of hardware is going to do that's going to be truly transformative in the world. We don't want 8K. We don't want more resolution. We want them to do better with what they've got. And this kind of thing it's using background information to create better visuals instead of just raw dumping beautiful visuals. They can use chicanery to create what to the naked eye is perfectly reasonable.
And here we actually get to say something nice about large language models.
Yeah,
because this is literally using upskilled AI. This is what this is. Here, for example, is a good use of that technology.
Yes, exactly.
This
is great that it's now out there. It's very good, and it's worth keeping an eye on. So again, this is a good reason if you've been considering getting a PlayStation 5, you should probably spend the extra ducats and get the Pro.
And absolutely, and it's kind of more of an incentive that, like, we're not getting new generation anytime soon.
Yeah.
Right. So you might as well.
This is a good time. And of course, they're still talking about increases down the road. So, God only knows when they'll start having to really push them.
Oh,
they've already bumped up some pricing now.
So on the latest shareholder call, I think it was like last week, they talked about how, like, they've got enough to see their current manufacturing commitments through this year, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So and that they're still going to consider increasing the price sooner than later.
Yeah.
A side note, I've talked before about my desire to get an AYN Thor handheld device, which is their dual screen one. They announced this week that the price will be going up in April. So and it's smart on their end because it does push a lot of people who are on the fence to commit and buy it, because they've already increased the price once, but not by a crazy amount. And everybody loves this fucking thing. I mean, I was hoping to wait for the second generation. I might just pull the trigger on it just to have it because I'm stupid. But as we've established with this shit. But I mean, this is the kind of thing that does make you go, you know what? All right, fine, fuck it. Here, take my money. And it's worth looking into if you are considering retro handhelds. It's not cheap, but it's a very powerful device, and it can do a lot. And the dual screen functionality people are very happy with, so it's worth digging into the subreddits and looking at other people's experience. And Retro Game Core's videos on it. Shout out to Russ. It's worth looking into. And again,
I gotta say, parasocial friend of the podcast.
Fuck yeah. And it's worth looking into if you're considering it. Now would be a good time to buy, because shit's just going to get more expensive this year. There's not going to be...
Buy sooner rather than later is the lesson, because it's only going to get worse.
I'm not saying that it's, I still think if the bubble pops sooner than later, there could be suddenly there's a bunch of RAM available for purchase, and maybe things won't get so
I don't
bad.
see that in the next year at least.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
I'd like to believe that it'll pop tomorrow. Who the fuck knows? It could happen tomorrow. Maybe this horse shit with the fuckface and Anthropic could make things happen.
I mean,
faster.
cross your fingers, but I doubt it.
Ed Zetron keeps posting stuff that makes you go.
I mean, you'll know. I'm sorry, everybody, for saying this. I'm just going to front load this. I'm very sorry. You'll know when Ed Zitron has his next orgasm. when it happens, when OpenAI fucking goes, nope, we're done.
Yeah. So keeping Sony in the conversation, they shut down Blue Point, which was very frustrating. It was because that was a good. Their focus was making remakes of games, not like remasters of older titles. They did a great job of it. Sony bought them, and they proceeded to release none over the last 6 years. They were pushed into making other games that they really weren't good at. And now they've shut them down. So everybody went, why the fuck didn't you just let them make a Bloodborne remake? Because Bloodborne is one of those legendary Sony-only titles that runs at 30 FPS. And absolutely... And there are fan patches of the PC version to make it run at a higher frame rate.
I actually didn't know there was a PC version.
Yeah, well, exactly. It was one of the early... When they finally started making PC versions, it's out there. And it runs much better, but it's unofficial. So it turns out it came out. Jason Schreier,
shout out Jason.
He got the news
does
today.
The work. Jason is fucking awesome.
Can he not close to fucking Bloomberg, please? Get off of Bloomberg. Get the fuck off of Bloomberg, Jason. Jesus Christ.
Who's writing you checks? That's
yeah, but all their shit's paywall too, so you can't even really look at it.
I did talk to Steve at Gamers Nexus about Bloomberg.
Anyway, it turns out that it was not Sony. It was actually From Software that said no to them doing this. So who the fuck knows what happened there? That could have also been related to they didn't like what Sony did or something, or they're waiting it out. And so, Sony's got the rights for X number of years, and once they,
politics.
Exactly. It could be anything at this point. But anyway, don't just blame Sony for it. Again, Sony's got lots of shit to answer for.
I'm pretty good with blaming Sony.
Yeah. So anyway, and just real quick, Resident Evil 9, which I mentioned earlier, Resident Evil Requiem, people are into it. And, the reviews have been extremely positive. It's a return to form. It's not a return to form. The last couple have been very successful. People are streaming the fuck out of it.
Oh, yeah.
They broke 300,000 concurrent players on Steam yesterday. So
it's weird that's become the new metric.
Well,
right?
It's the easy. People realize, this is an easy thing to find out because they share that information publicly.
True.
And again, as we've said before, it does not
as
reflect.
As a Warframe player, I can't really complain now, can I?
And it doesn't reflect console use. I mean, because the Steam numbers are in the toilet. The Marathon server slam is happening right now, and the story today is that it's already half of what it was yesterday. And, you know, because based on these Steam numbers, because they can see who's playing it on Steam. And yeah, maybe people got a taste and they moved on. Maybe they're on console. Who the fuck knows? But it's not the be all end all. However, when you see 300,000 people are playing a game on PC, you can assume that Sony's still obviously the alpha console for Resident Evil. So there's obviously 1 million people plus playing it right now. And everybody wants to play it before it gets spoiled, because it does have spoiler material. So this is a FOMO game. So people are on it. Do you know how much Resident Evil Requiem costs on the PlayStation platform in Canada, Kevin?
Guess if I know.
Just guess. Take a guess. How much?
$90.
It's $94.99. This new
I'm sorry
release,
to steal your thunder. I was almost right.
$94.99 for the base version of the digital game on the PlayStation Store.
I mean, yo, bitch, I grew up with the fucking Nintendo 64. That's what games cost. I mean, I'm sorry.
But today it should. when they were talking in thousands, then sure. But now at this scale, I know. Fuck you. And again, this
different
is where we
times.
Did I go
place.
off about the Pokemon game last time?
Probably.
Pokopia. Beautiful, fun little Nintendo game.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you absolutely
99.
did. Yes, you definitely did. Go back and listen to the last podcast if you want to listen to Andrew rant about something.
But this is it. This is like the fact that this game is massively successful at $94.99 Canadian.
You're teaching them the wrong lessons, people.
Fucking just play. Oh, that new game's out. Oh, how much is it? I'm gonna play Resident Evil 8 or 7 or 6 or 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 0, and enjoy that.
I got a Mr. Pie. I'll play the 1, whatever.
Because it'll drop. It's gonna drop. It's gonna drop very quickly. But again, they successfully got everybody on the FOMO train, and so people paid $94.99 for it. Okay, I mean, fuck, sure, why not? Again. It's and you know it's a good 10-hour game, I'm sure, but
10 hours?
I'm guessing. I mean, most single player experiences are not. They're 8 to 12 hours.
That's a day.
I'm assuming again. I'm not basing that on any information. I haven't read the IGN
okay,
review.
the games I play are like 80-hour minimum, but like
But again, this is the title that they put this PSSR 2.0 on quietly without any great fanfare until it was actually out. So if you are playing it on PS5 Pro, you will have a better experience than anybody else.
You know, this is the FOMO thing for me, right? Because I'm like, I shouldn't have got rid of my PlayStation Pro. But what the fuck would I do with it that I'm not doing now?
Exactly.
Like, nothing. Yeah. Literally nothing.
Like I've still got a bunch of PS5 games that I haven't played. Yeah. I'm definitely going to hold on to mine. But I mean, even if I gave you my PS5, it wouldn't be any use to you.
Yeah, like everything I play is on PC. I have several PCs that can all handle it. Yep. It's at 4K 60, like no problem.
Yeah, even
like
I've been playing No Man's Sky almost exclusively on my PC, largely because of the 21:9 monitor that I have, and it's a great experience.
So yeah, like what the fuck? Stop it, Kevin. Stop it.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
We haven't. Did you play the new expansion?
I actually have not,
okay.
And I because of the mixed reaction, shall we say?
Those mixed reactions are reasonable.
Yeah,
I mean it's not great, and I'm glad I did it, but you should definitely still rip through
I'm a reasonable person, so I would absolutely give them the credit, and I understand. But I'm like, I got other shit, man. I got stuff I'm doing.
Like, but you know, the part of the FOMO is, of course, the fact that these things are dated. So if you want to finish the Remnant,
you know what?
I keep calling it Revenant, but it's Remnant.
Here's the thing about the No Man's Sky expansions, or the expeditions, if you're playing on PC, there are ways. You can go back. There are ways.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's you can, not on console, but on PC there sure are ways you can.
It's absolutely worth digging into, and it really will only take you a couple hours to rip through.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I don't know what the window is on.
Probably closing.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're gonna have anything else on the
That's
in
true.
the queue anytime soon. But
yeah,
you know,
I haven't.
It is
touched
also
it yet.
great to. This is a great scenario to say. Okay, I know going into it that it's going to be mid, but it's still an interesting mechanic. But it is a shame that it broke so much other shit.
It's also good that like I've let a couple of patches go through.
Oh my god,
so,
I've been surprised looking at the news. I mean, there's 3 patch announcements on their news page. 621, 6211, and 622. So there's definitely shit to patch. So it was smart. It was definitely smart to wait.
This is always the way. This is always what happens in every single expedition.
I mean, in Diablo, I spaced on the Lunar Awakening, so I didn't actually finish it. But oh no, I missed some costumes that I'll never use.
Yeah.
But that was another thing. I was under the impression that there was another season of Diablo currently running. It's the same one that I played already.
Right.
It's still going. And
No,
I think it's
the
going
new season
until
starts in just under 2 weeks.
well, the new I think what's the new expansion. It's not the new expansion.
No.
Oh Jesus!
The new season starts in under 2 weeks, just over a week, and then in April the expansion drops.
Yeah, but that means that the new season's only going to be like 6 weeks. That's weird.
No, it's not. I don't think it's going to be a new season when the expansion drops. I think it's going to be the same season.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Don't look at me, man. I'm not the one.
I'm
making
looking
the
at you.
choices.
I thought the seasons had you would think
No,
the expansion would
they
be a
are
big
not
part
tied.
of
To,
that.
they are not tied to the
Holy
expansion.
shit!
No.
Okay, that's
It
good
is
to
part,
know.
It is part of the same thing.
Cool. All right. Well, anyway, that's that.
That's that. Okay, I wanted to get to a good thing.
Yes, please.
Before we got to a possibly not good thing,
Yeah.
or at least a thing that we have feelings about.
Yeah.
I have feelings about this next thing, and they're good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to give a shout out. I'm gonna pause here because I want to get the timestamp because I am going to direct people to this point in the podcast where I talk about and I give a shout out to the Gamers Tavern. This is a group who are basically a bunch of game players.
As well they should be.
Gamers, as the case may be, who are centered around the Fediverse. You know, shout out the Fediverse. You know my feelings on the Fediverse.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known about them for a long time. I just never really touched base or got involved. I didn't really know what they were about. And it turns out it's really not a big deal. It's just kind of like we're just hanging out and playing games and doing stuff and we all like the Fediverse.
Low-key.
That's kind of it.
Low-key.
That's really kind of it. So, but what I am really impressed with is their level of organization. Like they're on this shit. So because they're based around the Fediverse, a lot of them, I won't speak for everybody, but a lot of them are like, you know, we're Linux users. We like the Fediverse. Basically, what it is I found my people.
Excellent.
It finally happened. I finally found the place where it's like, wait, you all are Linux gamers too? Wait, you all are like on the Fediverse too? Wait. They run an Owncast server, they run a PeerTube server, they run their own blogs, and currently what the current project is, and this will lead into a future story, is we're exploring alternatives to the Discord because right now the Discord is one of the central kind of communication platforms. And because of reasons that we will get to later, we're of course exploring other avenues and other alternatives to what that future might look like. So, but they are exploring those avenues and alternatives. They're extremely well organized and professional and but also very friendly, also very diverse. They're very international. I think the lead, as it were, the closest you can get to a lead on this is in Italy or something. Shout out Alex. They're all over the world. Like it's really, really.
I was going to say they're from England and Wales.
Yeah, exactly right. But no, it's cool. It is basically like the Fediverse in microcosm. It is exactly what this vision of that should be.
That's great.
It is. Everything they do is they're self-hosted and decentralized, and I'm like, fuck, this is it. This is the thing I want. And I'm so enthusiastic that I'm almost kind of holding back. I'm like,
yeah, you don't want to get too
I don't want to
invested.
get, because we're still in the kind of getting to know you phase, right? But I got some thoughts, man. Here's one thing I want I'm kind of pitching it here, but I don't know. We'll see. So I haven't done Frankie play in a long time because I kind of feel weird about it. Like I know that this is not the way I should feel, but I do. I'm 57, man. Like, should a 57-year-old be doing like VTuber shit?
Look, we're in uncharted territory.
You know, I guess so. But again, Frankie also isn't a traditional like cat girl anime VTuber, right?
No, if anything, you can show them how it's done, how it should be done.
So I'm kind of like, I want to participate in what the Gamers Tavern does more. One of the things they do is like, oh fuck, man, on the Discord server, they have like an RSS feed of people's blogs. And if you want your blog posted there, if you write a blog, you can just get your blog posted there. There's a whole channel for people who like just like post their shit on the internet. Like it's unbelievably supportive. It's
wholesome.
I want to like be old man about this and go, it's like the internet used to be.
No, it is.
But in a good way, like in a positive, a healthy way, not just
passionate
in a nostalgic way. It's like, no, this is what it should be. This is just, it's a people connecting with people. So I want to get involved in a more substantial way is the conclusion that I've kind of come to. And I think maybe like, what if we did a PeerTube channel on their PeerTube server? Because obviously I don't want to give up my PeerTube server. And this is, again, here's one of the examples of like how we're so synergistic. We both run PeerTube servers and Owncast servers. Like the fuck. So what could I do that wouldn't necessarily just be on the Operation Puppet server, but would also be on the Gamers Tavern server? And it will be like, what if I made Frankie play? Yeah. Like an exclusive to that. And this also leads into the me doing game streaming.
Yeah.
Because I haven't done it in like over a month and I miss it. And I keep meaning to, but I just never, the moment is never right. I'm tired.
You should stream Revenant.
Well,
Remnant.
No. I mean horror games, you don't want to do that.
No, the No Man's Sky.
The Remnant.
Remnant,
right.
yes.
I heard Revenant and I just went,
I keep calling it Revenant, but it's Remnant.
Right. Maybe. We'll see. But what I've decided is the thing that will probably motivate me to do more regular game streaming is if I just pick a time slot.
Yeah.
I just need to pick a dedicated, like a day and a time that this is when I game stream, just like I do with the build streams, day and a time. I have done far more build streams since I decided day and a time than I have otherwise. So if I just say I stream games this day, this time, then I will more likely than not do it.
No, it's definitely the way to do it.
So that's what I'm thinking about. And I may talk to the Gamers Tavern about doing Frankie play on their PeerTube and Owncast servers as part of what the Gamers Tavern does, because they're just nice. They're just nice people hanging out and
it's excellent
doing the stuff. And the fact that they're based around the Fediverse is just the cherry on the sundae. It's lovely. So I found my people.
That's excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
It's unbelievably positive. So there we go. So shout out to the Gamers Tavern. We look forward to a future, and we'll see what that develops into.
That's great. I'm glad to hear this.
All right, here we go. We got to talk about it. I don't necessarily want to, but we're going to talk. Although it's kind of old news now.
A little bit,
kind of. So
well, it's been a long time. The descent continues.
So, stuff happened in Xbox world. Boy, oh boy, did it ever. Good guy Phil gone.
Yep.
So Phil Spencer's retiring. Sarah Bond's going with him, which is the surprising part.
Yes, when your heir apparent is shown the door when you are leaving is never good.
And I can't remember her name. The new
doesn't matter.
You may be right in that. So yeah, stuff's happening at Xbox. Shit getting shaken up.
Yeah.
Now, I will say my initial reaction to this was, of course, gloating and like, fuck yeah, and get out of here, and like, fuck you, Phil, and all that. You know, I have feelings about this particular moment in Xbox history because of my own history with Xbox. But if you want a very good, nuanced, and yet very insightful take on all of this stuff, I will say that the Nextlander podcast, the former Giant Bomb guys, did a very good deep dive into all of this stuff and commentary about what this is, what this might mean, what Phil's legacy is and should be, and going forward what this might look like. Because they have been there since literally since before. They've been covering video games since before there was an Xbox.
Yeah.
Right. So these guys have seen the long arc of all of this stuff, and it really helped to put all of this in perspective and kind of understand the shuffling and all of this and how it all kind of fits together. It was very insightful. So please do seek out the Nextlander podcast. I mean, I don't know if this Nextlander, they're huge. Yeah. I don't have to tell you, but they did have their most recent podcast as of this date has a very good commentary on what's going on with Xbox and what Phil Spencer kind of means and meant to the Xbox brand and where we're looking at going forward. So are you still, I don't even know where you are in Xbox world.
I haven't turned on my Xbox since I stopped, since I didn't buy the expansion for Diablo 4.
Okay.
And also the Destiny stuff too. I haven't.
Right.
I think the last time I played on the Xbox was either Diablo or Destiny.
So that in itself is very interesting and telling.
And
right?
it also
Because,
ties into the Game Pass. I think it was the Game Pass price increase.
Yes.
That was pretty much it.
Yes.
Because that was the moment I went, okay, fuck you, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And and I knew that I had been paying for Game Pass and I've been paying for PlayStation Now, and I'm like, there's no reason for me to continue playing for Game Pass at this scale. It's absolutely not worth it.
That is the interesting moment, right? Because there was a golden age, right? There was a moment. I mean, there was a point at which in this very apartment, I had three Xbox Series X's.
Yeah.
I didn't intend to. I only intended to have two, but that's all.
Even then, the fact
a whole
that you
other
had two,
story.
Yeah.
There was a golden period where we were all very much Xbox people.
Yeah.
I
wasn't initially. I mean, I got pulled into Xbox because of you guys playing.
Well, but this is it,
those
right?
games.
Because it was legitimately good. It was I felt good about being an Xbox user, right? And that fell off pretty quickly. But it has just been a slow degradation since then. Right.
Yep.
Now, again, the Nextlander guys have a lot to say about this and about how Phil was basically tasked with an impossible job, right? Of redeeming the thing after that horrible E3, et cetera, et cetera. Yep. And how the good guy Phil persona is partly true, but also partly marketing.
I think they used him. They used him. There's no question that Microsoft used Phil and let gamers project their love of Phil into the Xbox system, and it worked for them until they fucked him every chance they got.
Until it didn't, right?
They did everything they could to sabotage it, and Phil had to still go, okay, let's try to work with that, and then try to adapt the Microsoft in their gamer focused ways and tell people we're still working on this. This is still good. Yeah. And meanwhile, corporate was just completely
there is a real
everything.
dichotomy between that and corporate, right? That is probably the tension, and
a lot of people will still blame Phil because again he's the public facing person for Microsoft. So when Microsoft does dumb shit, you look at Phil and go, what the fuck, Phil? And then it's Phil's job. Phil is paid very, very well by Microsoft to be the front-facing person and to be the apologist.
This is the point at which the good guy Phil thing falls apart, right? Because of all of the layoffs and all of the horrible shit, if he really was good guy Phil, he would have fallen on that sword the minute that the giant layoff started happening.
Yep.
Right. He would have been like, no, I'm one of you. I'm out of here.
And
right?
God knows he got enough money. He didn't need to get the golden
Well,
parachute.
this is the thing. Like he could have done this at any point and still retired a multimillionaire.
And
right?
it seems like he was basically pushed out as well. He was obviously planning to leave in like a year anyway. And they for nefarious purposes told him, why don't you leave now? And he went, you know what? I think I will. And then why don't you take her with you? And they went, what? Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's the Sarah Bond thing is the weird part. It's that like, so apparently she, again, this is all rumor and speculation. So we don't have, there's no, who knows, but like, she was the one behind the Everything is an Xbox campaign. Was a total disaster.
I saw the merit of what they were doing. And also the fact that it also ties into streaming, cloud streaming. This was the vision for the platform, was cloud streaming, but obviously it wasn't ready for prime time as they were pushing the whole anything can be an Xbox, and it devalued the purpose of the console.
Yeah, well, it watered down the
Right.
hashtag brand. Right?
Yeah, and they were already losing the PlayStation at that point, so I guess they just said, fuck it, let's just reinforce the whole anything can be an Xbox, and there was some strength to that, and then they went, anything can be an Xbox, also give us $40 a month.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, go fuck yourself.
But this is the classic inshitification arc.
Right, absolutely. And this is something Phil obviously, would have given his 2 cents, and they went, yep, doesn't matter. And this is why, so the new girl is coming from the AI section of Microsoft.
Yeah. So okay, there's been a couple of responses to this, and believe me being as who I am and as Ed pilled as I am, I really want to have a knee jerk reaction, but I'm trying to like be tempered.
The fact that this person, her first public statement had to basically say, we are not going to fill Xbox with AI slop.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't panic.
Yeah.
Right.
She had to straight up address the fact that she's coming from AI world and say, guys, they didn't just put me in this position because I'm going to make everything AI. I'm going to, but you're going to love it.
This is, in a weird way, it's a hopeful sign, right? Because like the fact that they had to come out of the gate and say, no, it's okay. We're not pumping AI into everything. It's okay. The fact that they know that, they know that's a negative reaction.
Yeah.
Like that in itself should be an indication that, look, these fuckers know.
Yeah.
Like come on. So keep the pressure on. But Sharma, her last name is Sharma, I think,
sounds
something
right.
like that. But I think that the thing that Nextlander came to was that she's gone a long way very fast in various companies, including Meta.
Well, when you present yourself as the AI guru, you're going to get hot-shotted in most companies.
She's not just that.
No, I know that, but
like,
I'm still. But that's
thing.
the vector. That's the if you and this is happening across corporate America. Is that if you can be seen as the pro AI person or the person who can be the AI whisperer to make your corporation AI friendly, then you're going to get hotshotted to the top of the pyramid.
But it's beyond that. It's more that she's just a corporate social climber.
Right, exactly.
Right? She's the person that's like, her whole objective is to just get promoted.
Yep, exactly. And it works because they respond to that.
So because she doesn't have this background, this gamer background, she's being put through the ringer by the hashtag hardcore gamers, which is bullshit.
Yep.
Let me just preface this by saying, but the speculation, and I think this is probably accurate, at least from the Nextlander guys, is she's basically being brought in as a hitman.
She is going to be a hitman in what way?
So, like, the studios that were brought in as part of the huge acquisition process of building the Xbox,
Megacorp brand.
Megacorp, exactly. The ones that have been basically like, we can't fuck with this. We can't fuck with Blizzard. We can't fuck with, Double Fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. there are no sacred cows anymore.
Right.
Right. Because she doesn't have that background. She doesn't like Phil would fight for Blizzard kind of thing. Right. Like, but
no, Phil didn't want Blizzard. I think that was part of the problem.
yeah,
but yeah, still.
The point is he understands the dynamic where she just sees the numbers.
Yeah.
Right. And so because she's somebody who isn't a gamer, who just sees the numbers, she's a business person above and beyond all else.
Yeah.
This is, again, she's being brought in as a hitman. She's a headhunter. She's just gonna like.
It's a shame that as a woman, she's being punished by a lot of these shitty gamers because of the fact that she's a woman.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like they're questioning her credibility because
They're
she's a woman.
digging up her gamer tag and finding out how many gamer points
Those
she has.
those
Like,
same
fuck
people would
that
claim
shit.
that they would be doing this for any dude who was put in this position. That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, exactly.
They're absolutely focusing on it. And they asked her who her top 3 favorite games were, and she said Halo, Valheim, and I can't remember the third one, but like Valheim was a weird one. And they're like, Halo? Which Halo is she talking about? Is she talking about the series? And Valheim, like, what the fuck? And then I can't remember what her third one was, but somebody suggested to her, oh, you should try Borderlands 2 because it's so unique and varied. And she said, I'm going to do that. And then that showed up on her gamer tag that she was playing Borderlands 2. And people were like, wait, how did you not play Borderlands 2 if you're, supposedly
they're giving her impossible task.
Absolutely. Nothing she does is going to be right to these
You
people.
know what, guy in the internet? You know what else? Like, you're not the fucking CEO of a company. Fuck off.
And had she said, look, I love the idea of gaming. I've unfortunately haven't been able to do much gaming because of my climbing the corporate ladder, but I'm excited to get into things. Then maybe that could have been part of her way of embracing the gamer world. But it's an impossible task, and it's for a company that's already obviously the most gamers have already written off at this point. It's hard to imagine Xbox coming back, roaring back into power.
I mean,
when it's though they've
Seamus
already
Blakely, as I posted in the notes, he's got some thoughts about this.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows?
They're committed to new hardware. They've said as much. They said we're totally going to have a new console.
That's good.
Like, okay.
Are you, though?
Yeah, sure.
Are you really? Is there going to be any RAM in it? Because, do you
need to at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird and bad. I don't say this with any degree of pleasure, but I expect to see big cuts and big layoffs in the future. I think that's her job right now. That's what she's there
without
for.
any history. She can now start murdering
Exactly.
companies
She has
or set them free.
There's no baggage, right?
No.
There's no history. There's no baggage. She's the surgeon that can cut the tumor
at the very least,
as far as they see it, at least, right?
There's Xbox still has Game Pass exclusives coming, or at least in terms of games that will be released on every platform, but they will be part of Game Pass. So theoretically, you can have some value in that way. But I mean, if all of the titles that they announced for Game Pass that I was interested in, even before I canceled it, I never actually ended up playing any of them because and part of it was like, I can get to that one later. It's on my list, but it'll be on Game Pass for a couple of years at least. And then I just never got around to it.
I think it was Alex Navarro from Nextlander who said that like the thing that he can see in the problem with the process of the Phil Spencer reign at Xbox is like, it was them trying neat, new, ambitious stuff, but then not having a plan for what happened next.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd like to see them actually break down. At some point, it'd be nice if they were honest about when they started when they bought Blizzard and said, okay, now this is part of Game Pass, so you don't have to buy Call of Duty 6 because it's on Game Pass. What did that actually cost them?
Yeah.
Like how many people installed it? How many lost sales was that? A $70 purchase versus a $30 or $25 monthly charge.
This is what Alex was saying was that like it's part of the assumption that like it's the underpants gnome thing, right? Like this plus this equals this, therefore profit, right? Like there's no plan. There's no.
And all we can say is that when a Game Pass title was a hit and was well received, like Hi-Fi Rush, which is the big one, where they went, "This is fantastic. We want more of this. Also, we're shutting you down."
Yeah.
How do you respond to that? If that's what they're going to do to successful titles in that world, then what the fuck is the point? And that's kind of where we are now. So
Anyway,
keep an eye out.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, this is something that only you.
I just want to mention
to.
quickly about Destiny 2. So their roadmap for 2025, 2026, the final portion of their four element run was just something called Ash and Iron, which had no actual detail, but it was basically the second half of the Renegades portion of their 1 year launch, and it was supposed to come out first week of March, and of course that coincided with the launch of Marathon, which is Bungie's other deal, and they went radio silent, and in a way that even Bungie has never done before about Destiny.
All right,
and it was bad in that they weren't talking about the future anymore. They were just their This Week in Destiny or This Week in Bungie was just housekeeping stuff.
right.
And everybody's like, yeah, but what about Ash and Iron? What's that going to be? Like, we'll get to that. And then what's interesting is how the news broke about the delay for this expansion. It's not even an expansion. It's just the fourth part of the already scheduled expansion. The data miners, they can check the Eververse store, which is the in-game way to purchase. Well, kind of, but it's basically how you can get cosmetics in the game. Is the Eververse store, and they noted that they had extended the Eververse store schedule into April, which suggested that there were going to be no new releases until at least the end of April. And that would put it well into where the window for this Ash and Iron expansion. And so and then the next week's TWID came out, no mention of Ash and Iron. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? And then on top of that, they haven't even been doing Iron Banner, which is their big PvP mode that comes out every couple of months and everybody has a lot of fun with, and usually has some new weapons and new shit. And they didn't release a single Iron Banner for the last 6 months. And the hardcores were like, what the fuck is going on?
6 months seems like a lot.
It's crazy. And so they finally went, okay, here's the deal. We're changing things up for Ash and Iron. We're not going to call it Ash and Iron anymore. It's going to be a new paradigm. We're going to be implementing some new quality of life.
Buzzword.
June. They pushed it to June, which is massive. So basically, and that's not even regarding the next year of content, which they still haven't talked about. They still haven't made any suggestions as to what comes next. The problem is Renegades was a flop. The big Star Wars crossover, flop. The numbers were terrible. It was not successful in any way, shape, or form.
Color me surprised.
And it could have been a lot of fun, but the simple truth is, and as anybody will tell you, Destiny 2 ended with the final shape.
Yeah.
It ended the 10-year...
It's in the title, people.
It ended the Light and Dark saga, and it was the perfect point to end Destiny 2 and launch Destiny 3, whatever the fuck that would be.
Yeah.
And instead they went, no, we really want to keep this going as a live service. And again, this is Sony, because they bought Bungie. They paid a shitload of money for Bungie. They're like, we're not ready to invest in a new system yet. Let's just keep going with this one. And so they created the Edge of Fate and the Nines and all this other story stuff that they were hoping to be the next arc that would keep people in, and the numbers have been just disintegrating over the last couple of months. Like this last year was not good, and Renegades was briefly exciting for people on launch, and once they got through the story content, which was very meager, the rest of the game was just not there. This is a game that is effectively done.
Right.
People still play it, people still enjoy it, but less and less of people are in it, and they have given no incentive for new players to really get into it. They've talked a good game about new light experience and getting people in and giving them something to do, and they have not delivered on that. So now all we are now is in the speculation mode, where Destiny streamers have almost entirely moved on to other games. They're playing Arc Raiders, they're playing Marathon, they're playing literally anything at this point to try to reestablish themselves to keep themselves vital in streaming, because You know, they
You
want
do
people,
have to,
their
like, yeah.
versus their personality. I mention Aztecross all the time, and I still like following his stuff. I'll still watch his Destiny videos sometimes, just because he'll talk about it, and it, you know, he's an entertaining person. But a lot of these YouTubers are just like, I need to find a new vector because this is my fucking job, and Destiny's not giving me any content anymore. So the unofficial word is that they are working on Destiny 3 now. But that could be 2 years.
Oh God,
it could be 3 years. It could be 5 years. Who the fuck knows? And they're basically kind of throwing Destiny 2 to the wolves.
If it's 2 years, it's a miracle and bad.
And they have a lot invested in Marathon. And Marathon
Yeah.
is a very different game from Destiny. It is not a narrative based thing. It's a very cool environment that they've got for it. It's a very interesting visual style, but in the end, it is an extraction shooter, which is a different style of animal and not something that I'm interested in playing. So it's just not going to happen. So what's happening? It's coming out. It's launching, and like so many other live service titles that have come out in the last year, the blood is already in the water, and there's and the negativity that gets all the clicks and gets all the algorithm feed is going to be focused on Marathon being a failure. No matter what, there's still going to be a lot of people trying to present it as a failure. Any negative element they're going to jump on. They're going to make clickbait headlines. They're going to make content
Shocked guy thumbnail.
Yeah, focusing on that it's already a failure. It does, and unfortunately that works, and it has been effective, and the ground is littered with failures because of assumptions about something being bad. So Destiny 2 itself is effectively done. Whatever they announce it cannot possibly, I can't even imagine something that they could announce in Destiny 2 that would make me want to go back to it.
Right.
If they announce Destiny 3 and it's for 2028 or something, I will probably look into that. I might actually play Destiny 3 in a fresh coat of paint and a new engine and some interesting, you know, moving well into the future in a totally new world and just starting fresh. It's okay to start fresh. This is the problem. You've got a game that's built on a 10-year cycle. I mean, Destiny 1 only lasted a couple of years, and then Destiny 2's been running for 7 years, and we've still got the same shit in our vault that we had from the very beginning. And it can't possibly continue. But God help you if you tell somebody, oh, you can't use that gun anymore because we decided to sunset it, but we got this new one for you. It's a lose-lose scenario. So there's nothing they can do.
The guy who plays Warframe has a knowing smile.
Yeah, well, you know, that's part of it. You know, when you're dealing with any game with a massive amount of content, you people are still like, what do you want? I want new. Give me the new. And yet you've still got half the group going, no, I want to still keep using my old. I want to keep using my old. And give me the new, but I also still want to be able to play the old stuff. And Warframe somehow has managed to have an ecosystem that can be used. It can still play the old stuff, which is great. Whereas Destiny just can't because... Anyway, I don't want to get too far into it, but the bottom line is, it looks bad, and it's going to be bad, and I think that's fine. I think if it should be healthy for Destiny to go away for 2 years.
Let old things die.
And you employ the fucking people who made Destiny 2 great. You put them to work on Destiny 3 to have a fresh start in a new world or the old world but rebuilt. Who the fuck knows? Let their imaginations fly. You pay these people for the couple of years of development that's required to make it great. You let them cook. You let them do their thing. You spend the money that you fucking have to keep these people employed. And this is the problem with gaming writ large right now is you make a game and you get fired. It's not, oh, this is great. We'll see how the gamers go. In the meantime, let's keep working on the next shit. It's just because it's corporate ownership. It's like, oh, game shipped. Bye. Good luck in your future endeavors. Maybe we'll bring you back when we decide to move forward with something else. And it's impossible. It cannot continue. And
it's not continuing.
No, exactly.
That's kind of what we're at. Right?
We're getting to a point where more and more people are just getting out of the industry because they can't afford to keep doing this. Mm-hmm. You know, you take a job to work in a company, and then like there's probably people who worked for Wildflight that moved to, and they're like, oh, hi, Garb, this is going to be great I'm going to be good here for at least a couple of years. Moving on. They're like, fuck it, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna be a wine cook of the fucking Waffle House. It's more stable at least. It's more entertaining with all the fighting that goes on.
Anyway, yeah, that's the thing that's happening.
Yeah, and I just saw this today. TIE Fighter Remastered. It's not even remastered. It's a reimagined. It's a fan project.
That's been going for a while.
It is,
yeah.
And it said 1.4, and I'm like, oh, so this is just iterative. Nope, it is a whole new fucking game based on the TIE Fighter engine.
Yep.
If you have any if you ever played TIE Fighter or X-Wing back in the day, as we like to say. It is totally worth looking into. If you own it on GOG, I'm pretty sure that's all you really need to install this expansion to give it. It's a whole new game. The trailer that I've linked to on the Reddit thread, because I linked to the Reddit thread because there's also a lot of good comments on what's been happening and what it represents. So and it's worth watching that trailer just to go, holy shit, this is a game from like 1991 that now looks like a modern title with where you get to fly a TIE fighter and kill shit, and it looks great.
Side note, they've already there's been a group that's already been doing this for X-Wing Alliance.
Yeah.
For quite a while.
Oh, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I mean, there've been revisions for almost all of these.
It's also compatible with VR, which is the thing that fucking kills me. Like you can play X-Wing Alliance in VR now.
And this is just passionate people who have to do it for free because there's no fucking way they could charge for it. So just you got to support these people when they come out. So it's worth looking into.
All right, we'll probably touch on this briefly.
Yeah,
you don't need to go into it. Discord, huh? Whew. I mean, where do we even start? Discord is the age. We all know the age verification shit that Discord's doing. They put up a post recently that they're very sorry. They messaged this poorly, but they're still doing the thing, but they're going to smile about it now.
Yeah, they're sorry that it has to come to this, but it's important for everybody's safety that they make you scan your face and upload it to the internet
fuck that
to
shit.
Prove that you are who you are.
Yeah.
Again, I don't.
We did
like
actually
Discord.
talk about this last time. I remember us talking.
We don't have to get into it, but again, it's a shitty platform for messages. It's fine for streaming audio for joining your friends, and the two should be split.
And kind of like getting back to the Gamers Tavern stuff, this is kind of the conclusion that we're coming to. So what we've been doing, I say we, what they've been doing, and I only participated in one of these tests, is like just checking out other platforms, other alternatives to what Discord is. And really the kind of conclusion is there is no single drop-in point-to-point replacement for Discord right now. Discord is a complete package, and if you want anything, like any single thing to do everything that Discord does, there isn't any right now. I guarantee you that in the future, in the near future, there will be several open source projects that do exactly what Discord does right now.
I remember the only reason we looked into Discord was because the Xbox chat was broken.
Yeah.
That was it. It was, for whatever reason, Microsoft couldn't even make a reasonable, solid, stable chat system.
Skype was fucking awesome in the day.
It's insane. It doesn't make any sense that they weren't able to make it work.
Microsoft be Microsoft.
They either didn't put the resources in that they needed, or they tried to be as cheap as they could. I don't fucking know. But it basically literally pushed us out and made us look into alternatives. And Discord became the standard, and it became so ubiquitous that they had no choice but to actually bring it into the Xbox ecosystem, and it's on PlayStation as well.
I think they invested in them as well.
Well, that was part of it. They had to basically pretend like, oh, this is our idea, despite the fact that gamers were using outside platforms. So and that's the only reason they exist, is because Microsoft fucked up, and now they are this Goliath that somehow dominates the industry, and now because of their I don't know what the right answer is for age verification. I mean,
don't do it is the right answer, but
there's obviously there should be something, but you don't partner with the fucking devil to do it.
It's okay. They backed away from that now. It's okay.
Yeah, they've created Palantir created a sub company that has a different name, so we can pretend like it's separate,
exactly.
even though it uses the same infrastructure.
Anyway, so
it's important to know that people are looking into alternatives.
So I will say that the Operation Puppet Discord is not going anywhere, FYI,
Right.
just in case anybody was concerned. Well, because that's the thing. A lot of the people on the Operation Puppet Discord are just normal people.
Yeah.
Who just like
this is what they were told to do. People were told just join the Discord and join the Discord.
Despite how much I preach the Fediverse, I know that most people aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
Because most people aren't willing to make the effort. And I understand that. Everyone's busy. Everyone's got a life. Some people just want a normal life.
Please bring back the bullet.
And I get that. But this is why I'm really happy about being a part of the Gamers Tavern, for example, because they are looking for alternate. They are willing to make the effort.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, on Discord, bad.
Yeah.
Nah. Anyway.
It's too bad there's no good games.
If there were any. So yeah, we'll do the final thing here.
I do want to quickly mention I actually finished a game this week.
What? That's not possible.
Power Wash Simulator.
Oh, right. That thing.
Oh my God. It's so fucking good, guys.
It's very soothing.
I mean, the second game is out now already. But what I didn't expect was that there was going to be a story to the career mode.
Oh, really?
That actually pays off. It's so
Okay.
fucking great. So if at some point you picked up Power Wash Simulator and you played it for a bit and went, oh, this is nice, and then moved on.
I got one on Steam.
It's worth digging into, and just because again, it's so relaxing. It's just a nice game. There's no real time limit in it. You can take your time. It's nice to upgrade your ability, your tools, and do a better job. Some of the levels are just a little too big and they take a little too long. But even then, there's some. It's just it's pleasing to clean these things using a power wash. It's just the core gameplay loop is so satisfying.
Yep.
And again, it's a very British story. It's very ludicrous and fun, and I'm very happy to have completed it. And there's a bunch of side DLC and free expansion stuff that I could go back and play, or I could just fire up the sequel and play that. I don't know. We'll see. But there are other games too that are good.
All right, let's do it. Warframe, huh? We'll do our
Warframe. Jesus, I forgot about that.
check-in. Yeah, so literally today, there was the most recent dev stream. They do a dev stream every month. A fucking awesome. And so the next expansion, not expansion, next update,
Right,
has been announced, and it is the Shadowgrapher. So the next Warframe... Shadowgrapher, yes. The next Warframe is coming out. Her name is Foley.
Tell everybody which Warframe this is numerically.
This is the 64th Warframe.
That's fucking bananas.
64. Here's the great part. Rebecca Ford pointed this out on the stream. She's the 64th Warframe. Her whole theme is kind of sinister clown. And one of the ways you access the mission to unlock her is you have to jump through paintings. You have to jump through paintings. It's the 64th Warframe and it's referencing Area 64. Fucking hell.
I made the reference without realizing that was the connection.
Yep.
That's funny.
That's exactly it. I've linked to the trailer for Foley.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh man,
It's a 30-second teaser, and that's all you need.
Warframe is just fucking doing Warframe shit. They're just being weird and just. This is the thing that I appreciate most about what DE does is like they let their people do the thing. You want to get weird, you want to do something outside the box. They go, let's try it. Yeah. Like let's do a thing.
It is interesting that they went from a puppet to a painter.
Well, there's a lot of like strange connections between Foley and Komai, which I mean, Komai is one of my personal favorites because she's got a lot of puppet theme stuff. There's some strange connections there, and I look forward to exploring them. Yeah. That will be coming out next month.
The next Warframe will be a gun. just a gun.
Hang on, let me think. No, there's nothing quite. Just a gun.
Just a gun. Just a gun, a face gun, gun face, gun hands, gun feet.
Mesa's pretty close, but Mesa's like a Wild West shooter. Anyway. Yeah, so that's coming out next month.
Yeah, end of March.
I'm looking forward to that. It just released on Android, and it's like huge. It's one of the most downloaded things on Android right now.
Yeah, but it's been out the whole
No,
time.
no. iOS. This is the Android release.
Are you shitting me? I thought the whole time that it's been on Android.
It's brand new on Android.
Holy crap.
Yep.
So if I had I actually used my fucking Portal that I bought, it was one of the games I thought I was going to be playing on. It was going to be Warframe, and I wouldn't have. That's hilarious.
Well, now it can be because
Native Android.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
They're on fucking everything.
that's-
Here's another advantage that Warframe has in this whole weird ecosystem that we're in is the fact that they run on so many platforms.
Yeah.
They're literally still on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
You can still play Warframe.
It's too bad it's not on Linux.
It really is. It really is. I run it on Linux all the time. It runs just fine. Yeah. And so, yeah, no, it's like 1.1 million downloads. It just released this week. It's big. It's good. It's huge.
And it's perfect. And this will be a lot of people's secondary platform.
Yep.
You know, and because of that interconnectivity, I mean, for the grab and go, now you can, you know.
I mean, I will say, look, on iOS, like I have played it on iOS. The screen controls are fine. They've done a lot of work to make them functional.
Yeah.
But the great part is if you connect a Bluetooth controller, it's just Warframe.
Right.
It's just the game. It's the whole thing. It's just there.
But with the, I don't want to say explosion, but with a lot of these new retro, like the Odin Portal.
Yeah.
I mean, the Odin 3 is out now, and these are Android platforms, and this is a perfect game for that.
And this is the thing, because it's an older engine, it will still run on this huge variety of hardware.
Yeah.
That is the point I'm making, is like Warframe runs on so many different platforms. Yeah, exactly. So there we go. And of course, the last thing, and this literally just dropped today, and I'm very pleased to announce this. So unlike last year where I thought that it was going to happen, this year it is going to happen. I got a ticket to TennoCon, and I am going.
Excellent.
My wonderful spouse has said she will help me pay for the accommodations, which is the whole. Last year it got weird because the clan I was in imploded, and the people.
Yeah, I guess that was part of it too.
That was part of it. It was also financial. This year it's different. Because I'm getting help financially with it, and also like now the clan I'm in. This is why the Pixels and Puppets clan happened, because that old clan imploded. But now I'm part of a very large and very stable and very active alliance. I'm almost certain some people from the alliance will be there, but it's like literally thousands of people. So probably someone's going to be there.
I am certain that you're already thinking about it. You need to make a puppet.
So I have been thinking about it
as a gift for Reb or somebody at
the
place.
problem is I tried to get the VIP ticket where I would have met, the team and all that stuff. It was sold out literally in seconds. And the time it took me to refresh the app.
Right. But they're still absolutely going to be.
They're still around.
That's what I'm saying. Like you need, and this is going to be a very great opportunity.
And they're very hands-on. They're very friendly.
You walk around with a motherfucking Warframe puppet, you are going to get attention. You are going to be VIP very quickly.
What I've been thinking is I probably won't have the time to make I want to do an Ortis puppet or something. But because I've already done a couple of Warframe videos, and Frankie's been in both of them, I could just bring Frankie.
You should have Frankie and something.
I could just, if I did more Warframe videos before.
Yeah.
This is another fun thing, Warframe related. In the alliance that I'm in, so I'm one of the alliance leaders, or one of the clan leaders in the alliance. An alliance is like a group of clans.
Yeah. So
I'm one of the clan leaders in the alliance. So we have our own chat channel where we do admin stuff and everything. Somebody had actually posted they found my Banshee video came up in their YouTube recommendations.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
And they were like, I didn't know who this was. Then they realized, oh my fucking God, it's you. You did this.
That's fantastic.
So that was fun.
You got 4 months plus to whip something up.
Maybe.
And at the very
maybe.
least, it makes you the guy, the puppet guy.
I mean,
TennoCon.
no matter what, I'm going to be the puppet guy at TennoCon. Like that's going to happen.
I mean,
Like,
even if it's just a cool small or something
We'll see.
that you can
at the very
identify
least, I
as
can bring Frankie because Frankie is
you should
in-
absolutely bring 100%. But you should also have something as a gift for.
If I do bring a puppet, I want to make sure that I have somebody there that I'm going to like hang out with.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be the guy wandering around TennoCon alone with a puppet. I don't want to be that.
I'm sure that several of the alliance will be present to chill with.
We will see. So there we go. There's the Warframe update. It continues to be very, very good. So that's a lovely thing. Okay, we are slightly beyond time. Actually, with the break, we're probably at time. So there we go. There's another one for you all. OperationPuppet.com for all of the links. Thank you, Andrew.
Hang on, let me see if he's dead.
Oh, wait. We have to do is the unlive check-in. Let's go.
No,
Please.
I think it's still good.
Please, no.
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but it will soon. Anyway, we will catch you all next time. You have been listening to Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast.
Too soon, my voice
Visit
is getting
www.operationpuppet.com for all our links. Tell your friends, give us a rating wherever you get your podcasts, and join us again because nothing is more entertaining than aging nerds giving their opinions on the internet.
Well, yeah, they don't know what they're doing. They don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. The arse of free.